Streets of the new city were flashing by. My parents were animatedly discussing something. Meanwhile, I was staring out the window dejectedly. My mom was an architect. She suddenly won a bid for the reconstruction of an old theater, and we had to quickly move. Here's my project. Is this the old theater? Even ghosts wouldn't live here. Don't grumble, honey. Change is always useful. But I didn't see anything useful in leaving everything I was used to behind and starting over. Hi, I'm Jenny. Making new friends didn't come easy to me. I was too direct, a little awkward, and had a habit of rambling when I was nervous. New people scared me more than math exams, but my parents didn't care about that, of course. We moved into our new house. The next morning, Mom went to her new office to draw blueprints and do whatever else architects did. Dad put on a floral apron and made pancakes. Cheer up, Jenny. There are still a couple of days left until school starts. You could take a look around the city or buy new clothes for school. What's wrong with my clothes? All your t-shirts are 5 sizes too big for you, and every second one says, I hate Mondays. I wasn't going to change my style, but I did go for a walk around the city. I felt like a tourist without a map. There were a lot of kids my age around, cheery, noisy, but they all walked around in close-knit groups. I couldn't pluck up the courage to approach any of them, at least until I saw an unusual girl dressed in all black. Cool umbrella. It protects me from sunlight. I am a child of darkness. Got it? Oh, okay. I'm Jenny. What are you drawing? It's called None of Your Business. What do you want? I'm looking for friends. I just moved here. My mom's renovating the old theater. When the Dracula fan heard the word theater, she frowned, clearly upset. That's a shame. I often hang out there. I like to wander through abandoned places. I get it. Socializing is hard for me too, but you're weird. And I like people who don't fit in. Did you just call me a freak? What? Oh no, why was I always saying the wrong thing? I kept wandering around the city until I got hungry and bought some food. The hot dog smelled perfect. The latte was hot. Things were finally looking up, but then a Labrador ran out from around the corner, like I was in a sitcom. He almost knocked me down like a bowling pin. I spilled the latte on myself and dropped the hot dog. The dog immediately helped himself to it. Buster, stop running away from me. Sorry, did he scare you? No, but your buddy ate my hot dog. Sorry, how much do I owe you? Never mind. Let's just say it was my contribution to the Hungry Labrador Foundation. I tried to throw the empty cup into the trash, but I missed and hit the guy instead. Really? All because of a stupid hot dog? Dang it, Jenny. You're the queen of awkward situations. I muttered something unintelligible and ran away. I should have probably stayed and explained everything to him, but I knew from experience that I would have only made things worse. The next day, I went to the mall to buy some things for school and popped into a cafe to have lunch when I was done. But all the tables were taken. 2 girls were sitting at one of the tables and talking about their exes. They looked cool. We just broke up, but he's already posting shirtless photos. Like, look girls, I'm free again. And my ex is dating my cousin. Can you believe it? I couldn't help but smile when I heard what they were saying. And then the guy I'd hit with my cup walked into the diner. I didn't want to have another awkward conversation with him and immediately sat down next to those girls. See that guy? He's my ex. I need to hide. Ex? Of course, girl. We'll cover for you. We pretended to be engrossed in a conversation. The guy looked at me for a long time but didn't say anything. Once he saw there were no empty seats, he just left. The girls' names were Selena and Taylor. They wanted to know the details of my love drama. Why did you break up? As a true champion of bad decisions, I started to make up a story on the fly. We had a long-distance relationship. When I moved to his city, it turned out he had a lot of girlfriends. Selena snorted knowingly. Typical. You should get back at him. Oh, no, I let him go. It's fine. I kept smiling, but at the same time, I was worried. Had I said too much? Still, it was a harmless little lie. It wouldn't hurt anyone, would it? The holidays came to an end. On Monday, I came to my new school. My stomach was in knots, like I was about to take a survival exam, but it turned out that Selena and Taylor went there too. Jenny, come join us. To my surprise, I became one of the popular girls. I wasn't alone anymore. Problem solved. However, my relief didn't last long, as I saw the words written on a locker, womanizer. The guy I'd met brunette was standing next to it and frowning. It was his locker. Wow, looks like Kurt pissed off some girl. Yeah, this must be her revenge. My heart was pounding like I was running a marathon. I told my friends that Kurt was my ex, and now he was one of my new schoolmates. I see you've done it. Done what? Taken revenge on Kurt. Well done. I choked on nothing and was about to explain that I hadn't dated Kurt or ruined his locker. But in the end, I changed my mind. I didn't want to lose my only friends. Unfortunately, at that moment, Kurt recognized me. He looked mad and seemed convinced it was my doing. You did it? Seriously? Are you still not over that stupid incident? Hey, don't you dare yell at Jenny. You deserve it for breaking her heart. Breaking her heart? Did you tell them we were a couple? The crowd murmured. Everyone wanted to know the dirty details of our non-existent relationship. Panic seized me. I hesitantly nodded. Yeah, before you turned out to be a womanizer. The crowd gasped. Someone whistled. Kurtz gritted his teeth. Jenny, right? Okay, you asked for it. Remember, 2 people can play this game. He pushed through the crowd and left. My friends patted me on the shoulder. Well done, Jenny. You showed him. Horrified, I froze. After all, I just declared war on a guy whose imagination was clearly no worse than the devil's. When I walked into the classroom the next day, I saw a huge bra hanging off the blackboard. My classmates were giggling and looking at me for some reason. Oh, hi, Jenny. You forgot this at my place. When we were, dating? You jerk. It's not even my size. Well, yeah, you stuffed it with socks. Our classmates were dying of laughter. I wasn't going to take that lying down. I spent the whole evening writing a love letter full of tooth-rotting sweet nonsense like, "You're as lovely as spring rain. I miss your gorgeous eyes." The next day, I read the letter in front of the whole class. I told them Kurt sent it to me, back when we were dating. Everyone was dying laughing. Bro, I didn't know you were such a romantic. Kurt was seething. He was clearly planning his next move. Our fight was turning into a reality show, the Battle of the Exes, live on air. The other students followed it with great interest. It reached its peak during the Week of Good Deeds, a charity event organized by our principal. The students were serving food to the homeless. Our principal was proudly giving interviews to journalists. Everything was going smoothly until Kurt sprayed ketchup on my clothes. He pretended it was an accident. Can't we go one day without putting on a show? Without a show? But you're the screenwriter. It all went downhill from there. I threw a ladle at him. Kurt spilled spices on me. I started to sneeze and accidentally bumped into the cook, who was carrying a pot full of soup. The next moment, the principal was covered in it. The journalist laughed, and a surge of camera flashes followed. Someone will pay for this. An hour later, Kurt and I were standing in his office like a couple of criminals. You 2 will clean the floors in the cafeteria every day after classes for a month. That evening, Kurt and I were the only ones left at school. I don't understand why everyone believed we were a thing. Your hair is like straw. You're flat as a pancake. You have no taste. You're not my type. For some reason, that really stung. Tears streamed down my face. Kurt tried to say something else, but I ran away. I was walking down the street and wiping away my tears when I ran into Selena and Taylor. Jenny, what's wrong? Sobbing, I told them everything Kurt had said about my appearance. My friends exchanged a glance. That moron. We'll show him what he lost. That's right. My ex is throwing a party this Saturday. Kurt will definitely be there. We'll go there looking like 3 movie stars. Let's make our exes regret being born. I wasn't sure that was a good idea, but convincing someone that the earth is flat would be easier than saying no to Selena and Taylor. On Saturday, my room turned into a beauty salon. Dresses, makeup, the smell of hairspray. I barely recognized myself in the mirror, but on the inside, I was still the same insecure girl. Is the dress supposed to be so short? Girl, you look stunning. Kurt's jaw will drop to the floor. The party was booming with music. When we walked in, everyone stared at us. Kurt was there like we expected, laughing with his friends. But as soon as he saw me, he felt silent. He looked me up and down, and I suddenly felt confident. A minute later, a handsome guy came up to me. Hi, wanna dance? Why not? As we danced, I laughed loudly on purpose. Kurt was watching us. He seemed jealous. Everything was going great until Selena suddenly pushed me away from my dancing partner. Are you crazy? This is Paul, my ex. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Didn't know? All I ever talk about is him. She screamed like a chihuahua with rabies, and suddenly I got mad too. I'm tired of this beef with exes. If you're not over Paul, just talk to him. Stop being so dramatic. The music stopped and everyone turned to look at me. By that point, I couldn't stop and continued. And by the way, Kurt and I were never a thing. It was a lie. A stupid little lie that has grown out of proportion. With nothing more to say, I ran out of there. But then, as I walked away from the party, Kurt caught up with me. Hey, wait. Here to gloat. I've ruined everything. No, I wanted to say that was cool. I mean, not everyone would have the guts to tell the truth. We walked to my house in complete silence. There, we sat down on the porch steps and stayed silent for a long time. I thought to myself that Kurt looked very handsome under the light of the street lamp. Then, out of nowhere, I started talking. The first time we met, I didn't mean to hit you with the cup. I wanted to explain everything, but, people must understand me all the time, and then I just wanted to fit in at the new school. Anyways, my lies have gone out of control. I'm sorry, really. I'm sorry for all my antics, too. We suddenly remembered the red bra and the principal covered in soup and couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, that was epic. And by the way, I was lying when I said you weren't my type. I was just angry and went too far. To be honest, I like your usual style better than this dress. I felt myself blush, but then it suddenly dawned on me. Wait, I didn't write womanizer in your locker. I didn't even know that we went to the same school back then. What? Seriously, it wasn't me. Then who? Oh, dang. I think I'm in trouble. He threw an anxious look at me and ran off into the darkness. I went home. My parents were in the living room. Dad raised an eyebrow when he saw me. Jenny, what are you wearing? A dress? That's not exactly what I meant when I told you to buy new clothes. Come on, our daughter is just having fun. How are things at your new school, sweetie? Let's just say I'm never bored. On Monday, I came to school feeling like I was walking into the unknown. Selena and Taylor immediately came up to me in the hallway. Jenny, listen, I'm sorry for yelling at you. I mean, when you ran away from the party, I followed your advice and talked to Paul. Really? Yeah, we talked everything through and decided that we will stop hating each other. What Selena is trying to say is that exes don't always have to be our enemies. I should apologize too. I shouldn't have lied to you about Kurt. We're not mad. There's some chemistry between you two, though. Don't be ridiculous. Sure. You should see your eyes when he's around. I tried to laugh it off, but actually I felt uneasy because Kurt didn't come to school. My stomach was in knots the whole day. I found out his address and went there after classes. Jenny? Hi, you didn't come to school. I wanted to check to see if everything's okay. Did you find out who wrote that on your locker? We walked down the street and he told me everything. I work part-time at a cafe during the summer. We had a regular, a girl called Bree. She's homeschooled and doesn't have any friends. I joked around with her just to be polite, but Bree mistook it for flirting. When I told her that I wasn't hitting on her, she got mad and spread all sorts of rumors about me. What a witch. Actually, Bree is not bad. She's just weird. She also draws really well. She drew my portrait once. Check it out. Huh, I saw this girl. We even talked. When you said you hadn't written anything on my locker, I realized Bree was behind it. I wanted to talk to her, but her parents said she ran away from home. I've been looking for her everywhere. I even wanted Buster to pick up her trail, but he keeps leading me to the pizza place. I replayed the conversation with Bree in my head. That's when it dawned on me. Kurt, I know where she is. I took him to the old theater. As expected, Bree was hiding there. She lived on the stage and used a sleeping bag as a bed. What do you want? Bree, you should come home. No, I don't want to see anyone, especially you, Kurt. I thought you liked me, but you... She started to sob. Kurt and I sat down next to her. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I was just trying to be polite. I said go away. Not without you. Listen, you're a great artist. The world is waiting for your paintings. Don't dwell on the past. Bree stayed silent for a moment, but then wiped off her tears and nodded. Okay, I'll come back home. Life went back to normal. Kurt and I kept washing the floors at school as a punishment, but now we joked and laughed so much I didn't mind. I'm finally not a womanizer, and I'm not a liar anymore. We make a good couple, right? Are you asking me out? You didn't think I'd leave you alone that easily, did you? We laughed. I was finally happy. A little lie turned into an avalanche that swept over my life. But sometimes you need to get lost to find yourself. I have friends and a boyfriend who looks at me like I'm the most important person in his life now. What epic fails were there in your school life? Tell me in the comments down below. But be honest.